I want to say what my goal is with this whole project, why I'm interested in self-replicating media. What I really want, my goal in life as a person who builds technology, is to make what I call a technological complete set. That is to say, a set of technologies which, taken together, build a whole human world. And so right now, the only technological complete set is the gigantic global culture that we're all stuck in that none of us have control over, which includes the global marketplace, the different nations and corporations and so on that make up our entire world, which includes mining vast quantities of non-renewable resources, setting them all on fire, doing things with them, and then burying them. And we're sort of headed towards Armageddon. None of us control this system, but it is complete in the sense that everything we do is part of this. It is how we grow our food, it's how we build things, and so on. So the goal of somebody who wants to independently make a technological complete set is to build something that actually encompasses everything one needs for a good human society. So medicine and agriculture, transportation, heating and air conditioning, taking care of sewer water, all of these sorts of issues that we need in order to have a functioning human society. What is the minimum to do that? And then what is the minimum of infrastructure to keep that whole thing going? And I think it's important to note that in many ways, the giant global civilization we're all in is not a technological complete set because we can't keep doing it. We keep running out of stuff and then having to change. And then there's always this giant apocalypse that's about to happen and we just barely avert it, maybe. And so in some sense, the technological complete set is something that no one has ever done before. And it's something that I think everyone who works in technology should be striving towards. How do you build something that actually takes care of all human needs? Okay, well, if you can do that, part of what that has to do is it has to self-replicate. If it's not enough to just build, say, some self-sufficient farm and 10 people live on it, that's okay, that's fine, whatever. But then ultimately, if they get bored and move along, then it doesn't exist anymore. There have been numerous utopian experiments like that have all kind of died because they don't self-replicate. And so this is my obsession with self-replicating media as a path to the technological complete set. Because if you can make some collection of technology, which taken together satisfies all human needs, then you can document it using media which self-replicates. Not just meaning it can be replicated, but it does replicate. That it is appealing to people in such a way that people want to replicate it. The same way people want to replicate their religious scriptures. They choose to copy this, to teach their children, to kind of send it down through the generations, and it has the ability to sustain itself. And so the goal of this whole project is to get to a technologically complete set by way of building up self-replicating media which generate increasingly complex technology until you've got the whole set. It is my belief also that no one person or lab or group or company or country is going to build the technological complete set. It's going to be something that's spontaneously created by a large number of people all over the world, and it's going to just kind of appear in the same way that living systems do. That there's a big prairie, and then there's some shift geologically over time, and then it just turns into a forest. These things kind of spontaneously grow, and it has to have that spontaneity. Otherwise, you get this one seed that is never enough to really propagate. So that's, again, comes back to my obsession with self-replicating media. If you can build an ecosystem of organic media which self-replicates any kind of technology, anything, robots, little art projects, whatever, little bits of technology that do something useful and have media built into them that can self-replicate, then you've built something like a living thing. And so then you're going to get evolution in the same way that living things evolve. And so that's why I believe all we actually have to do, those of us who want to see this goal of the technological complete set, we just have to keep trying to make self-replicating media until it starts to replicate. And then once it starts to replicate, it just goes. I don't do it, you don't do it, some small group of people, some little company we start isn't going to do it. It just goes. And then you end up with a surprising array of new robots which build a surprising set of new technologies for agriculture and medicine and air conditioning and sewage treatment and so on, that then gives you a technological complete set. And then, of course, as with all living systems, they split off and evolve into different subsets. And so you're never going to just make one. If this starts to spontaneously happen, we will finally be able to return to a state in this world where we're not all caught up in a giant unsustainable mess, but where there are numerous living systems, which are groups of people that are not the entire human race, who are able to actually live and then hopefully make some actual decisions about the world that we want to live in, which right now I would argue we mostly can't. None of us have any control over this system. So that's the technological complete set, and why organic media is the path to the technological complete set, and hence this project.